Kale, did you listen to the Jim Cornette podcast where he was talking about Becky Lynch? And he's like, what the fuck is up with these women getting pregnant, leaving $1 million jobs to go be a fucking mother? I'll tell you what, when I was on top, I would take a piece of coal and shove it up my ass and make a diamond before I got a woman pregnant. I was like, holy shit, Jim. I laughed really hard at that. I was like, damn. All right. Hello, Lisa. All right, so we've got that the Athlon top 25 I thought we'd go over tonight. And then Kale sent me something that the comrade hasn't heard yet. We'll get comrade's reaction live because holy shit. When I heard this today, we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and start the show. And let me set my recorder here. Boop-a-doo, boop-boop-boo. And right there. All right, say something for me. Hold on, gentlemen. This is being stupid. That's not the one we want. Damn it.
Stanley, go. You're not hanging out back here.
What are you talking to Stanley for?
You bite my feet all the time. Go.
So, Stanley bites your feet, comrade?
Well, he licks them and nibbles on my feet when he sits here, and he's still a puppy.
It's annoying?
Yeah. So go bite William.
Go bite William?
Last name Stanley?
What?
Go do that. All right, good boy.
All right.
His name's Stanley.
Stanley is a little
Your dog's
dog.
name's Stanley?
He's not going to bite those sorry-ass feet anymore.
We got Stanley, and we got Coco, and then Cocky and Clem the cats. Okay, but
Oh, God.
Stanley met a cat on the internet.
Stanley met a cat on the internet? That's funny.
now I'm pulling my headphones. Come on.
You don't get it.
And,
You want to see everybody? Come up here.
all
Come up
right,
here.
there we
Come
go.
up here.
Turn
Come up here.
the,
Not you. I didn't say you come up here. You're too damn big.
All right. I got it set up, gentlemen. Here we go. Welcome into the Rob, Comrade, and Kale Show, the podcast that divides the Palmetto State. I am Rob Sanders, your host, representing the Clemson Tigers on this podcast. I have a couple of co-hosts. We'll start with the most hated man on Facebook. Everybody hates him. It's just what he does. He is the comrade, Mike Dobreski. Mike, good evening, sir.
It is great to be here. Great to be here. Great to be a Gamecock. I love the fact that the leadership of my alma mater takes it upon themselves to look at these challenging times right in the eye and say, you know what? I'm going to give back some of my salary. Don Staley, Ray Tanner, Will Muschamp, Frank Martin. I'm going to give back some of my money because it's one for all for one here. You know, we're not bigger than this. I know some coaches in the state don't do that.
Anyway, so much bullshit in that I'm not even going to bother because
what did I say that was bullshit? What did I say that was wrong? Anything I say was incorrect?
Yes, everything you said was incorrect.
Really?
First of all, fuck stick. You're talking about your team
He's
having
mad, which means I'm right.
No. I'm just saying we can start with that. You have a dumbass coach that's a documented liar in the Washington Post. That is not good leadership. We will not go any more into that, though, because we have other things to do. I want to welcome in the third wheel of our podcast, the third leg, the strongest leg. That would be, you can follow him on Twitter or YouTube at Carolina Jackpot. He is Kale Hall. Kale, welcome to the show.
Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing tonight? Well,
Kale's the more balanced of the two. All right. Well, Kale, thanks for taking time out of your day. Kale's one of those essential employees. He has to actually leave his house every day. And
without question.
I appreciate what Kale does. I appreciate you, Kale. Anyway.
What are you trying to say? You're trying to say you don't appreciate me? What are you trying to say?
I never said anything about that. Why are you so insensitive?
I
What
took
is
time
wrong
out of
with
my
you?
day too. I take time out of my day.
Do I need to hire somebody to tickle your clitoris for you? Be quiet.
I took time out of my day.
What'd you do today?
I took time out of my day.
What did you do? Did you take time out of your day after going and doing what Kale does? Okay,
yes.
then shut your hole. All right. I'm not gonna put up with your shit tonight, Mike. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm gonna beat 10% of your ass tonight.
No,
I don't will Muschamp.
Yeah,
10%. Voluntarily. Voluntarily.
I did not call Kale a dick. That's funny. I tell you what, we are going to get into tonight. We got several little things, but I want to thank our sponsors first. Of course, Callaway's Bar and Grill. I will be doing trivia out there for them on Saturday. So come by and see us, 8 o'clock, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. You can get you some twice baked wings, all kinds of good stuff at Callaway's. We appreciate them for taking care of the show. Also, DNC Trucking and Transport, the No Spin Zone segment with the Comrade. Comrade, read away.
Let me pull up this crap. Hold on.
Jesus Christ. You know we're going to do this.
I know, but I had the wrong tab open. Shut your mouth. I stand at 5'7" tall, a full 7 inches shorter than Dennis Wilson. It sucks being.
Whoa, wait. Hold on. For some reason, you dropped out there, Mike. Say something there to me, Kale. I can hear you, Kale.
I hear you.
All right, Mike. All right, turn your mic off.
Over again. Hold on.
Okay. Start from the top, please.
I'll start at the top. I'm not sure what happened.
Sure.
Lord. I stand at 5'7" tall, a full 7 inches shorter than Dennis Wilson. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Will Muschamp is taking a pay cut due to COVID-19. This is refreshing. He has been stealing money from South Carolina for years. Bastard. It has been 2,363 days since my piss poor team won over our rival in our Super Bowl. 1,648 days ago at the Ghetto on Bluff Road, the Citadel beat my sorry team. I am the reason that Cale Hall pisses in his sink. It's utterly shameful to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Thank you, Dennis. We appreciate you, sir, for sponsoring the show and making the Comrade do his thing. So I appreciate that. I'm going to play something right now. Kale, can you help me set this up real quick? You sent me this today, and I am going to play this for our listeners. Tell us what we're about to hear.
I on the way home this afternoon, about 6:30-ish, I was listening to 95 or whatever it is, 95 point, I don't know. The Clemson Tater Radio, 95.5, the Roar, 105.5, the Roar. God dang. Lord, I'm damn out of it. Walt Deptula, who does the show from 3 to 7 every day, he'll talk a lot of football. He talks all sports really, but I'm back on the football kick again, and he's got some interesting callers that call in, and he's on a kick now, which for the most part I value his opinions. Most of them are pretty good. I follow him on Twitter, but then he starts talking recruiting classes, recruiting rankings, and he started talking. First of all, he started talking about Tennessee. And how the number 2 recruiting class they currently have in 2021 is inflated because they have 22 commitments right now, and they have like a 3.4 star average, which is true, by the way. But then he started railing on Georgia Tech a little bit, and I thought it was kind of weird because he used to kind of radio host is supposed to be neutral, but he's
like I am. Like I am neutral.
Clemson. So
right down the middle.
He also always had a kind of a lean toward Georgia Tech for some damn reason during the Paul Johnson era. However, sounds like that's gone right out the window when he started talking Georgia Tech recruiting.
What a fucking idiot. Just flat out fucking idiot. Man, I got nothing on that guy, man. Kale, please respond for me because I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that guy.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, Paul Johnson probably had higher ranked recruiting classes when he was there because, like, any kid in high school who played in an option offense or anything similar to that, if he drew those kind of players in for a while. Yeah, and they scrapped it because they bring in a new coach, and I mean, nobody was playing that archaic shit anymore. He wasn't winning ball games, and it wasn't so much the fact that he wasn't bringing in good talent. It was the fact that the defense has just evolved over the years, and that shit's just not working anymore against the lightning quick type defenses they're facing now. So they bring in a new coach. He did have a bad first season. So it's going to take him a little bit of time to get there. But I mean, saying that he can't coach, he's had one fucking season. He beat he beat somebody he wasn't supposed to beat last year. They won at Miami.
Florida State, right? Was it Florida State?
Yeah, and then they gave who was it? Virginia. They gave them a pretty damn good game last year. He lost to the Citadel, which I like. When we talked about that the other week, that I liked it that he took accountability for the loss. I mean, he pinned him on himself. Now, I mean, you can't continue to lose teams like the Citadel every year, but you pin it on yourself every year. Okay, that's not going to keep you in a job forever if you can't raise the bar and do a little better than that. But he took accountability for it. He didn't make some kind of bullshit statement like, well, my staff's won 0.535% of our games since we've been here. And the next one is coach won 0.528. So, yeah, we've been here 3 years. Yeah, what do you have to say about that? Yeah, he didn't shit.
Yeah,
he didn't shit on his other coaches or shit on any of his players or anything like that. So, I got respect for the guy. I just think Walt's a fucking idiot with that one.
That guy's a complete idiot. Comrade, your thoughts on what Deptula said? Who, by the way, has blocked you on Twitter, I'm sure, right?
Walt Deptula blocked me on Twitter, and I forgot what he even said to him. I think I just called him out on something dumb he said, and I was blocked. I mean, good Lord. Usually people block me after about several hours of me giving him shit. I gave him like 2 tweets. Whatever.
Right.
Listen, it's rare that I'm wrong about coaches. Okay, very rare. And so I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know I'm right on this, but I like Jeff Collins, and the idea that you're gonna judge him based on like the early going, he's coming in as Kale said already, and I'll give Chad Morris a little bit of a break too, because Chad Morris kind of came in the same situation in terms of he's coming in and changing a complete system, and the guys he has there aren't the guys he's going to be recruiting, the kind of guys from recruiting. So the same kind of idea. So you almost have to give them a little bit longer when that happens. And if you hire a guy after Paul Johnson and go in a totally different direction, you have to give that person a little more time than normal, because he's going to build a whole new system and get a whole new type of player. So I like what I've seen from them. I like how they play. They play hard. And I think they can be a little sleeping giant in a few years. Not like this year coming up, but good Lord, give him a little chance to kind of build the brand a little bit and build his offensive attack when he gets the kind of players in, and he'll start getting recruits, I think. And I could be wrong. He could end up at Carolina in a few years. Who knows? When Will Muschamp takes over Bill Belichick. But still, I think he's a good coach. And I think Georgia Tech might have a chance to be a team that may actually have a pulse in the ACC as opposed to all the crap they have in there now. I mean, they could be the one hope of being a legitimate team in the ACC besides the damn, tater bastards, and make the ACC somewhat exciting or somewhat like competitive. So we'll see.
I follow a YouTube channel called SG1 Sports. I think the guy's an Auburn fan, but he puts out all kind of college football videos. There's a roster breakdown on every team, and does some predictions on every team. And he did one the other day. It was the top 10 toughest schedules in the country for 2020, and he counted them down 10-1. The Gamecocks, I think, came in at number 5 this year. But then when he got down to number 1, I was like, oh, excuse me. He came with the number 1 one, and I was like, please don't fucking do Tennessee. And it was Georgia Tech. I was like, what? But if they got Clemson at home. They got I think UCF. They play on the road. They got, I think, a road game at Georgia, or the final game of the season. And they play I think UNC and Virginia Tech in back-to-back weeks on the road. So he rated them number 1. I don't know if that really rates number 1, but they're definitely they would definitely be ranked in the top 5 of anybody else's. So I think that's pretty.
Well,
pretty strong.
Let me read you their schedule real quick. He might be on to something here. They start with Clemson, then they play Gardner-Webb, UCF at home. They go to North Carolina. They also go to Virginia Tech, and then play Virginia. 3 straight tough games in a row. Hit the road at Pitt. They play at Syracuse. Then they have Duke at home. They play Notre Dame in a neutral site game in the Georgia Dome. Yeah. Then they have Miami at home, and then Georgia on the road. That's a pretty tough schedule if you really think about it. So
it's weird can play a schedule like that, though. Man, good for them.
Really, I'm not even going to get into that.
I mean, what? I'm just
the only gimmies on that schedule are Duke and Clemson. I mean, fuck.
They got UCF. They've got Georgia. I mean, scheduling teams out of conference and not, whatever. And good for them.
Yeah. Speaking of Walt, real quick, he blocked me on Twitter like the first week of the 2017 season, and when he was another one of those that bitch and moaned about the SEC. And the reason he blocked me, I mean, it was silly too. Really, well, it was after during the Labor Day evening showdown between Tennessee and Georgia Tech in the Georgia Dome. Tennessee won like 43-42 or something. It was a crazy game, high-scoring game. And you remember that when the guy was running up and down the sides with the trash can with the T on it? Anyway,
what a shithole that is.
It was one of Tennessee's 4 wins that year. And I just tweeted something to him in one of the threads or whatever, something about I ain't no Tennessee supporter or nothing, but I said, what you think about the SEC now, buddy? Next thing I know, I'm fucking blocked. I'm like, really? Is your is your skin that fucking thin? Anyway, this past summer, when I was on extended vacation, I was working on my deck, and I would listen to it in the afternoon. And one day they offered everyone who's blocked on Twitter amnesty. So you had to text Ramona.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, you text Ramona your name, and they would unblock you on Twitter. So he unblocked me. So you gotta be nice. You can't ruffle his jimmies at all, or he will fucking block you.
No Jimmy wrestling. I know people like that too.
I got that. If you block somebody on Twitter, you're a straight bitch. The first top 25 poll came out. What?
Sorry. Uncle Lou, who we've been trying to get on this show. Uncle Lou had some kind of Tennessee video the other day, and I think he was talking about the recruiting class or something. He just opens it up with a freaking hilarious.
Yeah. This is the first top 25 poll of the year. And I thought there are some teams that are missing from this poll. I don't know if you guys have checked it out or not. We'll blow through it really quick. Number 25 is Iowa. Number 24, Virginia Tech. 23, Boise State. 22, UCF. 21, Cincinnati. And 20, Minnesota. Now, when I see that, I see they've got I guess you call them the mid-major teams. I'm so used to college basketball. But they put all of them pretty much right there together. And because I think that when they set this poll up, it was like, yeah, we think these guys are going to be good, but we don't really want to put them in the top 15, top, whatever. So we have them all bunched up there between 20 and 25. For some reason, I'm in some Facebook group where there's all these Boise State fans, and they're trying to tell me they're God's gift to fucking football.
They're probably that these people that do these polls, they probably don't put enough research into them to find out really how good they are or aren't, and they probably go on a lot of past season results. And then the majority of them may not even be able to tell you who they fucking got coming back on their damn team. They may not even watch one of their damn games last year. So they just kind of plug it in there because, this looks good. This looks good. I don't know that UCF is going to be that great. They lost a ton of good talent that they've had off those teams the past few years. So I don't know that they're even a shoe-in to even be ranked. I mean, we'll see. I'm not really sure how well they've recruited.
I don't get the Hokie. I think the Hokie is going to be a tire fire this year. I think just for the whole Fuente situation, I think if they get off to a tough start, they could snowball quickly, and they could be really
that quarterback they got is raw. I mean, he's pretty good.
I'm not sold on him.
He can make some throws. I don't know where I saw it at. It was on social media a couple of days ago. Taj Boyd was breaking down some film on his name. It was Herndon Hooker, I think is his name. Taj Boyd was breaking down some of his throws, and he's like, look at this little fade off the back foot. He's like, boom, that's 6. He's not. Now, when you saw me doing that, it was usually the wrong color jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taj Boyd.
I don't know why he was breaking them down. I think the kid may be from his area in Virginia.
Yeah.
Isn't Taj?
That's where Boyd's from.
I miss Taj
the
Boyd.
Virginia Beach area, the Tidewater.
I miss Taj Boyd. We'll put it out there.
Of course you do.
This is
Tidewater, Virginia.
Moving along here, number 20 is Minnesota. PJ Fleck, by the way, South Carolina could have interviewed him, and you guys could be rowing the boat. And I think that PJ Fleck would have come to South Carolina, but your stupid ass administration, they have to hire every fucking retread known to man. I mean, go and dig up fucking Bear Bryant. That's your next coach. Number 19.
They want somebody whose boat's going to sink in Lake Murray.
Exactly. Number 19 is Southern Cal. Kale, they went 8-5 last year. I don't get them in the top 25. What the hell?
Oh, I don't know. Walt today, by the way, Walt said that quarterback that they've got, what is his name? Slovis or something like that?
Slovis.
Sounds like a disease a cow would get. I don't know when it didn't get fed the right amount of whatever. I don't know. He said he's a dark horse Heisman candidate.
Did you see the recruiting rankings? Like where they were this past year? Like last year's class?
Last year's class sucked, but this upcoming class, they're like 4th or 5th in the country.
But I'm not sure how much depth they have. I mean, I know the Pac-12 blows. I mean, makes the ACC look pretty good, but I just don't see
last year,
good.
I thought they were going to tank for Urban Meyer. What happened to that?
Tank for Urban. Yeah, she got started getting chest pains, probably. My guess.
Number 18 on this is North Carolina. 17 is Iowa State. 16 is Texas. Texas went 10-4 in 2018. It fell back to 8-5 last year. I think we've talked about Texas before. They're never fucking coming back. I'm tired of hearing everybody telling me, "Oh, Texas they're coming back." And Sam Ehlinger, he returns for his senior season. Oh, they're just gonna be great. Holy shit! Just stop with Texas. What a fucking gong show they've turned into.
They can never get a defense that works. Maybe.
Yeah. Michigan's at number 15, and I'm going to give you a statement that came from Jim Harbaugh this week. I want to get your immediate reaction from this from both of you. Harbaugh said, quote, "We're on the cusp of being a playoff team."
Well, I mean, what he got?
If he could ever, he can't beat He will never get in the playoffs if he can't beat Ohio State. Period. And they can't do it. How long has it been? How long has it been since like 2009?
The comrade didn't have a daughter then. I'm just saying. No offense, comrade.
They're not.
Comrade. That was like before comrade got married.
Playoffs. Concentrate on your rival first.
I'm serious.
That was a young strapping single lad.
Exactly.
I
laughed
fucking
sleepovers, by the way.
Oh, it's damn fucking sleepovers. It's affected his brain cells.
By the way, if that happened at your house, how would you deal with it? Mine would be I'd kick him square into nuts and tell him to get the fuck out. Would not even remotely deal with that guy. I'm not dealing with it.
You might have some kind of damn tail or something.
He's got dual vaginas. That's what he's got. Number 14, Oklahoma State. There's a visual. There's a visual. Keith will appreciate that in the chat room, I'm sure. Oklahoma State, they've got 19 returning starters. Yes, they do. They do have a new offensive coordinator, Chubba Hubbard. What a great name for a running back, Chubba Hubbard.
Chubba.
I'd love to be calling those games doing play-by-play. Chubba Hubbard takes the pitch. I just laugh my ass off the whole time.
Oklahoma State.
So,
touchdown, I think Chubba Hubbard.
That would be funny. Auburn's at number 13, and we've talked about this before. I think Auburn's going to be a fucking gong show. I don't think Chad Morris and Gus Malzahn are going to get along at all. I just don't think they're going to get along. I think Auburn's going to finish 8-4 at best. They may go. They may lose to fucking North Carolina. I'm not very confident in Auburn at all.
Do you think Chad Morris might be spoiled goods after that shitty ass couple of 2-3 years, 2 years, whatever it was that he put together at Arkansas?
Nick Merritt loves him.
I just think that I think that when you have two offensive minds that are together, I just don't think they're going to be on the same page. Cyber Shadow Knight has a very good point. One of their big concerns is the O-line. Yeah, you're right about that. But I think a lot of it's going to come down to their quarterback, and I'm just not buying Chad Morris and Gus Malzahn together. I think they're going to bitch at each other on the sidelines, and it's not going to happen. Hayward Hodge says, great story, Rob. I don't know what Hayward Hodge is talking about, but whatever. Number 12 is Wisconsin. They're like a cut and paste team. They're going to get 10 wins every year. When you look at their schedule, though, they got a neutral site meeting with Notre Dame and Green Bay. Minnesota and Nebraska come to Madison, and then they hit the road to play Michigan and Iowa. This could be a tough year for them just because they've got a tough Big Ten schedule.
Well, I mean, tough Big Ten schedule. I mean, the Big Ten's kind of, I think they're a little rated, though, too. I mean, I hate to put them – they're not in the Pac-12's league or the ACC's league for crap, but, I mean, how tough is really that schedule? I mean, you said before, they always win about 10 games a year, which is unreal. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, listen, Tennessee fans were all like poo-pooing that back in the Philip Fulmer days, and they got rid of him. Look what happened to him. So I'm not going to sit there and badmouth Wisconsin, but they're kind of always right there. They always have a good running back, a good up the line. They beat the team supposed to beat, and they can't quite take care of the upper echelon teams when they have to.
Who's Chad Morrison?
I think that's Jim Morrison's brother.
Is that
Jim Morrison's brother?
John Morrison?
I think
WWE?
Yeah, or Jim Morrison or Joe Morrison.
There we go.
Jim Morrison or Joe Morrison broke on through the other side, I'm told.
That's funny. You've also got at number 11, and I think this is just way too high, Texas A&M. is at number 11. What? I mean, just the math says that's not going to work because
people love them.
You think Kellen Mond can do it all the season? He didn't really have a good year last year. Kind of down a little bit.
He tore up Clemson a couple of years ago. That was it. But
yeah, and he lost. But the thing with them is that I've heard people talk about Kellen Mond, and this is not me saying this, but this is what I've heard. People are comparing Kellen Mond and his situation. They think that he's going to have the breakout year like Joe Burrow had at LSU. I'm not feeling that.
He always has some good wide receivers. Texas A&M always does. They always have these tall, rangy, frisbee catching dogs that can just come from anywhere. They don't ever seem to really have a running game. So if they can establish that, they may be pretty good. I don't know about number 11 good, but I haven't really looked at their schedule either.
Yeah.
It's always tough.
That makes sense, Cam. You're right about that, man.
And they they have a tough every year crossover from the East also. So
always.
There's that.
Very true. Very true.
Oh.
But their schedule's a lot easier. Their schedule's a lot easier this year than it was last year. They still got that tough Gamecock team they got to play. But other than that, their schedule's much easier this year than last year. I'm still not sold on them. I think the schedule change is what has people kind of like thinking this is going to be their year. They have a good year because last year's schedule was really tough. I think that's the thinking of it. I think this one was kind of putting them up there, but I still don't kind of see what they're seeing.
I'm not buying it, but So up next, we'll go to the top 10. Oregon's at number 10. Mario Cristobal's team is the Athlon's pick to win the Pac-12. They got a 1,000-yard rusher returning in C.J. Verdell. Their schedule has North Dakota State and Ohio State coming to them. Also, they go to Berkeley to play Cal. Home dates with Washington, Southern Cal, and Arizona State. They got a really good kid, a sophomore on the defensive end too. That Thibodeau kid. Thibodeau, yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau. He was one of the best in the conference last year. Had a really strong season as a freshman, better than some people like to talk about. Xavier Thomas, yeah. Number 9 is Notre Dame.
I had Clint Taylor fan the other day giving me a hard time about him that I called him a bust, and he said, "Well, it's because we mainly played a 3-4 defense." Shut the fuck up, okay? A bust is a bust. You can tell me about all your 3-4s and 4-3s and your 2-1-1s and all this shit. You didn't get no damn sacks. You know quarterback pressures and hurries and shit. You wasn't what you was billed to be.
He couldn't get off the fucking bench. I mean, that's just reality.
Well, that's a problem too.
Well, no, but the reason that Clemson that Venables had to redesign the defense and lean on the secondary was because Xavier Thomas hasn't done what the hell he's supposed to do. That's why we tried to play a lot of zone and shit, and we didn't sack the quarterback and go after him like we did from the year before.
I thought it was to exploit Simmons. I thought it was to exploit the Isaiah Simmons' strengths. I'm not being a smartass. He used Isaiah Simmons as an eraser, basically, because he didn't have anybody that could really get to the damn quarterback. And that's a fucking fact. I'll battle any Clemson fan on that. The Clemson defense was good last year, but they didn't have a Cleveland Farrell or a Dexter Lawrence to clog up the middle, a Christian Wilkins, and stuff like that. They didn't have that last year. They did good. What's happened to KJ Henry? I don't hear anything about him anymore.
KJ Henry redshirted a year and did and basically just lived in the weight room. And he's supposed to be back this year. And for Clemson to have a good season, they're going to have a good year out of him and a good year out of Xavier Thomas. And if Xavier Thomas wants to go and be a top NFL draft pick, they're going to lay it out for him this year. because they don't have an Isaiah Simmons to lean back on. They don't have an AJ Terrell to lean back on. That's just reality. And I think he has the potential to do it. Go ahead, Kel. I'm sorry.
They don't have a Tanner Muse to lay back on.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Kale's just fucking with me. He knows I can't stand Tanner Muse. Fuck off.
Muse.
Don't you fucking talk about the Belmont Bandit like that. God damn it.
Fuck him. Notre Dame is at number 9. I think that every poll you're going to have Notre Dame there. I'm not going to. I think Ian Book is considered like one of those guys you put $20 down on the Heisman Trophy. People will love him simply because he's the quarterback at Notre Dame.
Walt said he has a pedestrian arm. I think he's probably right on that.
Walt has a pedestrian show, as in turn it the fuck off and walk on by. Fuck him too. Number 8. Number 8 on this list is LSU, the defending national champion. LSU thinks that they're just going to roll through there. They lost 16 guys. A lot of it comes down to Miles Brennan, their quarterback. Kale over there with his pooch. Number 7 on the list, the Georgia Bulldogs. They are a defense that limited teams to just 12.6 points a games last year. Mostly returns intact. Georgia at number 7. You think that's too high or too low, gentlemen?
I don't think they're going to finish in the top 10 this year. Just because of the COVID, the lack of practice, the new quarterback. Yep. If we had a normal kind of year going on, maybe I have them at 7. I just think that they may lose a game or two that they normally wouldn't lose, and that may kind of kick them out of that top 10 ending poll. So I'm going to say a little bit overrated in that end.
Yeah.
Kale, your thoughts on Georgia?
What is that, week 2 or 3 matchup against Alabama?
Yeah.
Dude, they're going to get freaking erased. I'm sorry. They're not winning that ball game. And I mean, I could see them possibly dropping one to Auburn. I could see them losing to Florida. They could lose 3 or 4 games this year. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see anybody special on that team. I just don't see the talent that I don't see anyone special. They talk a lot of shit about Jake Fromm because he couldn't really develop a downfield passing game. But I mean, he didn't need to. I mean, he made the throws he needed. Well, he didn't against one team I know of. Made a few mistakes. But other than that, I mean, he didn't make mistakes. He was a smart quarterback. He wasn't a great quarterback. He may have had that quote-unquote pedestrian arm, but the offense was built around him. This one, I mean, we don't know what they got coming in there. I mean, this guy they ran a totally different offense at Wake Forest than what he's going to be running down there. Plus, now they don't have the damn time to prepare for it, thanks to the damn crud going around and fucking with everything for a couple, 3, 4, 5 months. So I don't know. I'm not sold on them. They're not special, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah. Well, my thing with them after they had their debacle loss against South Carolina, it looked like they just gave up, in my opinion. They just didn't seem to have it anymore. Number 6 on this list.
They gave up. They didn't lose another regular season game.
I
know, but they didn't look sharp, Kale.
They lost to a better team that year. Let's make it down.
I mean, a win's a win.
I'm not knocking your Gamecocks. I'm talking about them. Number 6 on the list is Florida. Florida's going to win the East, and I think they're going to dominate all the way through. I think that they'll go into the SEC championship game at 12-0. And I think they're going to play probably a 12-0 Alabama team. So
they're going to drop one.
Really? Which one, Kale?
They're going to drop that game at Ole Miss.
At Ole Piss.
They're going to drop. They think they're going to lose to LSU, and they could lose to my Gamecocks. I mean, if things go right, definitely possible. Well,
Comrade,
look at it, dude. I mean, I know you're laughing about it, but the past 2 years, South Carolina in 2018 we were in front of them. Last year we had them on the down ropes. Both years, you know what the problem was? We forgot that there's four fucking quarters in the game, not three. It's not a third. It's not a 3-quarter fucking game. It's a 4-quarter game. And we fell apart in the fourth quarter both years. It's not like we're shitting in our pants with the, oh God, we got to go play Florida this week. I hope I come back home. I mean, it's Florida.
Okay.
Florida. We ain't intimidated, Bob, and we proved that last year.
All
On the road to
facts.
Sanford Stadium, punched them right in the fucking mouth.
I mean, do you want to just sit here and blow the Gamecocks all day? They went fucking 4-8 last year. I'm not talking about the Gamecocks.
Never said they didn't, but
okay.
Well, the fact of the matter is, we fear no one.
No one.
Well, when you're 4-8, you don't have to fear anybody. You go out there with the expectation of losing. So
don't fear a soul.
So number 6 is Florida. Number 5 is Penn State. Interesting stat. The Nittany Lions have won 11 games in 3 of the last 4 years and made an appearance in 3 New Year's Six bowls in that span. When I think Penn State, it's just like what we were talking about with Wisconsin. They're going to win 10 or 11 games every year, and I don't really have much respect for them until they can get past Ohio State. And then Ohio State traditionally looks like shit in the playoff.
Good kid coming back at quarterback, Sean Clifford. Defense last year was fucking nasty, man. They were nasty. I mean, if you watch much Penn State football, which I did, they're good. They got James Franklin's got a solid program. Well, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. They could win the Big 12 or Big 10 East. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. Quick story, real quick. Someone commented in the comment section earlier about why did I have the Penn State shirt on. I've told this story before on the YouTube channel. You can have like a little adopted team that's your team. When your team's not playing one I like to watch. I have things with Penn State. The past 6 years, we've went on vacation to a little area in Pennsylvania that is like right where Pennsylvania and New Jersey meet, right where the Delaware River is, and we vacation there. It's just a special place to me. I love going there the last week of July every damn year. Hopefully the COVID doesn't fuck it up this year for me. But I bought this shirt last year, this long sleeve T-shirt at the Kmart in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania, which is about 25 miles from where we stay at. And lo and behold, it was on clearance. Lo and behold, I know that Kmart closed down in February, so I don't get that memory anymore. Don't get to make the annual stop at Kmart and Wind Gap. But I just enjoy following them. A lot of people, they think about Pennsylvania and this and that, and it's a bunch of fucking Yankees, a bunch of rude motherfuckers, blah, blah. Pennsylvania is nothing like that. It's more like, to me, it's more like being in the South. It's more like there's more friendly people there. I've never had a problem with anyone there. Everyone's always been nice. Never had any issues. I like it. It's a beautiful place. So that's the deal with Penn State shirt. I didn't get it from Goodwill. Sorry, the Buster Bubble Delta 000. So there's that.
Let's see here, Comrade. You have thoughts on Penn State?
He says Penn State's best running back ever was Saquon.
Saquon Barkley.
Y'all forgot about Blair Thomas.
Yeah, Blair. Kurt Warner. Not the quarterback now.
Bobby Ingram was a wide receiver for Penn State back in the early 90s. Came from Camden High School.
Slipped through the game.
0.
Kurt. Yeah. So Penn State. I don't know. I like their coach a little bit. I think he's a good coach. He's kind of a goofy dude, though. But I don't know. I just don't think they can quite, when they get on the national stage, they get to that point. I don't think they can kind of compete with the Bamas, the Clemsons, the LSUs, the Georgias. I don't think they can quite get there. So they can kind of have a good Big Ten season. maybe they can pull upset of Ohio State and maybe find their way in a playoff, but I don't think they're going to do much if they were getting the playoff. They're kind of that typical Big Ten team. They lack some speed, and I just don't see them as a real threat.
Oklahoma's the number 4 team in the country, according to Athlon Sports, their preseason top 25.
Of course they are.
That's exactly.
It's just fashion. It's just fucking fashionable to put them there. They make it to the playoffs how many years? Hell, they've been in the playoffs every damn year that Clemson's been there, have they not? They have missed one.
I'd have to check on that, Cale. I don't remember.
They have, but they shit the fucking bed every time. They shit the bed against Georgia. They shit the bed against Alabama. Clemson beat their ass. They have no damn defense. It doesn't matter who they bring in. Last year, they brought in some damn defensive coordinator from Ohio State, and whoopity-doo, he raised them from rank number 95 in the country in defense to number damn 69 or something. And they thought that, they had this great defense. We got a championship winning defense now to go along with Jalen Hurts, whoever the fuck. And I mean, they just got blown out. I mean, when they face a good team that can do a lot of things offensively, they don't stand a chance. They get their ass whipped.
Another team that's at number 3 is Ohio State. And, Ohio State, ladies and gentlemen, we can agree on one thing. They can't beat anybody from the Palmetto State. They are 0 for fucking ever.
That's true.
So there you go with that.
Actual.
Ohio State. Ryan Day, of course, had a good season last year. All this love for Justin Fields. I mean, he played well, but I don't think he's all that. I really don't. He isn't really, he's had some good games, but people talking like, oh, he's the greatest thing ever. I don't know if I'm buying that or not. Comrade, what do you think of Ohio State?
Touchdowns last year. The one interception.
I think
he had big games, but I just,
I kind of like Ryan Day. I think I like what he's doing there. And watching the Clemson game, and I know you're going to get all upset at this and get mad and swear, but I thought they outplayed Clemson. I thought talent-wise, I thought they matched Clemson, and that's the first time I've seen them actually have enough talent to go up against a team like Clemson. So I think they've improved. Unfortunately, they got some bad breaks. They got the referees that kind of screwed them a little bit. But I think if they keep on building the way they are, they could be dangerous here. And I think Ryan Day is kind of I think he's recruiting more kind of in the area. I think Urban Meyer tried to go all across the country. And I think he's kind of concentrating more in the Midwest and kind of getting those Ohio State kids and so forth. And I think they're kind of building their own little different brand than Urban Meyer had. And I think he's going to be pretty good. I think they're going to I think they'll be pleased with what he does. So I think I hate to go with Ohio State credit because I can't stand them. Tar Heel basketball, Buckeye football, Clemson football, the 3 things I hate more than anything in this world. But got to give them a little bit of credit. They deserved to be Clemson last year, and things didn't work out. So
they punched Clemson in the mouth. They really did. They took their foot off the gas. And after the second quarter, I mean, they looked lost.
Unfortunately, when they punched them in the mouth, they were targeting at the time, so that was a problem.
Yeah. Number 2 on the list is Alabama. The Crimson Tide missed the CFP for the first time since it started back in 2014. Still had a hell of a season though. Mac Jones is going to take over for Tua Tagovailoa. Dylan Moses is coming back. And I think that Alabama is going to be really good.
Don't forget about Jalen Waddle and Najee Harris.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk power on top of power with Alabama and Nick Saban. I love the people that were bitching last season. Well, maybe Nick Saban's fucking lost it. Shut the hell up with all that. I mean, Nick Saban can still coach. So damn.
He's no Muschamp. He's good.
Oh, goddamn.
I wanted to respond to something real quick. See you in the Valley said something about jackpot. You're talking about the Stroudsburg area of Pennsylvania. That is precisely where I'm talking about. The place that we stay at is the address is actually East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, but it's actually called the Delaware Water Gap. So yeah,
I told us I got drunk really badly at East Stroudsburg University, badly, almost alcohol poisoning when I was a youngster, really younger. Just kind of my first my early experiences with alcohol. I kind of went a little bit too hard. I was a youngin'. Good times though. What I'm told.
Number one is Clemson. And I think that what Cale said at the beginning before we started doing all this, I don't think they did a lot of research, because it's really hard for me to believe that Clemson's the number one team in the country when they have to replace 4 starters on the offensive line. I just not buying that. I don't know if, Clemson may be able to roll through their schedule, but as far as competing with an Alabama or an Ohio State or something like that, if you're being real honest, it's going to be tough. And getting that cohesion, especially with dealing with this COVID-19 stuff, getting that cohesion on the offensive line is going to be hard. And it wouldn't surprise me if Clemson dropped a game this year simply because of the offensive line. When you lose what they lost, it could really shoot you in the foot. I think this is a little high for Clemson. I think they're a top 5 team, but personally, I would put them behind Alabama and probably Ohio State as of right now.
Well, I mean, the question is, are you, some rankings are, where do you think they're going to end up? Okay, or do they think the best teams like Clemson's schedule? And I'm not making fun of you, but their schedule is piss poor, and so the idea that if you're trying to look good or trying to make a prediction, like say hey, I'm trying to pick the team number one who thinks win it all. I think Clemson's probably the best choice because they have less obstacles to get to the playoffs. So now it comes down to winning 2 games. Can they win 2 games? Well, Alabama, more than likely they're going to the playoffs this year, but they have a little more obstacles to get there. Ohio State, not so much. Same kind of idea. But, of course, they're looking back last year. Clemson beat them, even though they lost their lineman, like you said earlier, what Kel said earlier about the fact that the research stuff. So I can see why everyone's kind of penciling in Clemson in the playoffs. I mean, if you go to Vegas right now, I believe Clemson's the team most likely to be in the playoffs. Their highest percent rate, right? So not necessarily the best team, but because their road has the less obstacles to get there. So I agree with you saying too. I don't think they're the best team right now, but they're going to be in the playoffs unless something crazy has happened.
Yeah, Cale, your thoughts on Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, and also didn't mention replacing T. Higgins could be a little bit of an issue. I don't necessarily know that you have anybody to do that. That was a big loss. I know you got Travis Etienne there, but he can't really step up any more than he already has. So it'll be interesting.
There were 2 teams that I want to go over that were not in the top 25. Both of these teams have fans with big ass mouths. The first one being Tennessee. Look, I like what do you call him? Jerome Pruitt? Is that what you call him, Cale?
What's that?
Don't you call Tennessee's coach Jerome Pruitt?
Yeah,
that makes me laugh when you call him that. Tennessee's not in the top 25. What the hell? What the hell exactly? And then the other team is Miami. If you listen to their fans, they think that fucking Michael Irvin is still playing and Kellen Winslow Jr. and all those assholes. But they still right now they're like, yeah, we're not there yet. And
off the topic real quick, you guys get a chance. You're going to be grossed out, by the way. Go Google Kellen Winslow Jr. Just Google it and then be grossed out of the crap he's done. He's in jail right now. Good Lord. He likes the older ladies. Let's put it that way. Like much older. like grandmas. And good. Oh my Lord, go read some of that
I
stuff.
heard something about that.
Yeah, he basically is a sexual predator, but unlike a lot of sexual predators who go after younger women or women in their 20s, he goes after Grandma Betty, like 70-year-old ladies. That's what he does. Weird ass dude.
What the fuck is that all about?
Yeah, Google it. Kellen Winslow Jr. Not his dad,
Aaron.
but Kellen Winslow Jr. and
Yeah.
pull up arrest record and court case and court testimonies and like all the stuff he does, like exposes himself to people. Like, just he's obviously he's crazy. I mean, they try to prove that in court.
He's a fucking weirdo like Aaron Hernandez was.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he hasn't killed anybody though, as allegedly. I mean, as I know, but he just does other things. So yeah, weird ass dude. Anyway,
well, it's weird to me that you have two teams from the state of Florida ranked in the top 25 in this poll, and Miami's not. Maybe they should learn to win over Florida International.
Another stupid thing I heard today on the Walt show. It was full of stupid today. Someone called in talking about about the Nick Saban and who's ever going to take his place. When he leaves, retires, whatever happens to him. And this guy mentioned Jeremy Pruitt, and Walt said that's not that far-fetched. That is not that far-fetched. How can you make this assumption? What the fuck has he done? He won 8 fucking ball games 1 year, and he's put together a recruiting class of 22 players, and he's ranked number 2 right now because he's swooped in the most damn recruits. How does that qualify him? Because he was a defensive coordinator at Alabama to take over the head coaching job.
Goddamn.
Bullshit.
Goddamn. Well,
Goddamn.
Look,
I mean,
exactly. No, well, look
Good
on
Lord.
the other end though of that, the whoever's going to replace the Saban. I mean, do you really want to be the guy that replaces Saban? I mean, holy shit, I don't want to do that. So I don't know.
He's got the drip. The drip. Got the drip.
well, he could. I mean, he could fall off, for a few years. So, like when Bobby Bowden, his last few years at Florida State, I mean, he should have probably been gone a couple of 3 years before he actually.
Well, I think
actually
Florida State fans will tell you
but,
Jimbo Fisher was running everything the last 2 seasons. I don't know.
No, they played like it, but yeah, sad.
Got the drip.
It's kind of hanging on.
Yeah, well, there's that. Final thing this evening on the Rob Comrade and Kale show before we get out of here. They wrapped up The Last Dance, and Horace Grant, the Comrade, posted this first, and then I went and put it on my blog page. But Horace Grant basically called Michael Jordan a liar, saying that the whole documentary was basically a piece of shit. Is kind of the vibe that you got from Horace Grant, and wow. The one I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about that, but my big thing was Michael Jordan he had creative control over the entire fucking thing. And it's like, if he didn't want Horace Grant in the damn thing, he didn't have to have him in there at all. It sounds to me like Horace Grant is full of shit. That's what I'm thinking. Comrade, what you got?
I mean, I understand. First of all, listen, I enjoyed all 10 episodes. Okay, I am a child of the 80s and 90s. I loved the NBA back then. I can't stand the NBA now, but this way it plays. But I loved the NBA back then. I watched Jordan play all the time, so I loved it right there. But the fact of the matter is, a couple of things about Jordan. Okay, Jordan's a little bit. How can I put this?
Quirky.
Well, the number one thing is I'm sure people have heard this. If you haven't heard this before, you know why this came out, right? Okay, they shot this film back in 1998. Okay, they didn't sit there and say we're going to shoot it in '98 and release it 22 years later. It was supposed to be released like the year after, but Jordan didn't want them to because Jordan's private. It's like, I don't know if he wanted it out there. But after LeBron won his last title, Michael gets a little bit kind of, a little bit self-esteem issues. and he feels like he wants everyone in the world thinking he's the greatest, not just 98% of the people think he's the greatest. And so he goes, "Go ahead, you can do it now." So it's out of that whole thing of Jordan wanting to release to remind people how great he was, all right, which is fine, but he also has control. So I understand what Horace Grant's saying. And Horace Grant's big beef is that the Sam Smith book that came out, The Jordan Rules, which is a great book, by the way, okay, Sam Smith and Horace Grant are good friends. And so Horace Grant has been labeled as the person who leaked most of the stuff to Sam Smith, which is probably true. But what Horace Grant's point is, he's not the only person who leaked stuff to Sam Smith that corroborated Horace Grant's stories about Jordan. And so for a long time, Jordan's kind of blackballed him and because of that book. And apparently also when the Bulls drafted Horace Grant, Jordan did not want him. Okay, Jordan didn't want some damn tater on his team, apparently. I don't know. And so from right beginning, they weren't a great relationship. So I understand why you give your interviews, and then you sit back and they frame it. Like, listen, this shit happens on this show all the time. I'll say something here, and then the Rob will go ahead and splice shit together and post it. Like, this is what the comrade. So I get it. I get control and about like that stuff. And you say something, you can simply, kind of frame it in the way. So I understand it, but it was great TV. Really good TV, really good documentary. I say before, I'm a kid of the 80s and 90s. The biggest thing I have with Jordan fans, and I used to be a Jordan fan. I'm a New York Knicks. I understand something. I'm a New York Knicks fan, okay? And Jordan used to beat our asses. But I never hated Jordan growing up. Even when he beat the Knicks' ass, like I admired the way he played. I wanted to beat him, but I never got mad at him. The issue I have with Jordan fans is that they get so sensitive. Like they want everyone in the world to say that Jordan's the greatest. And if you even hedge on that a little bit, they just feel offended. And it's very much like Jordan does. And so right. I've told people before, if you think Jordan's the greatest, it's fine. But if you mention LeBron being in his category, they get offended. First of all, you can't compare the two. They're different players. They play different styles. One's a forward, one's a, And so I've often said this too. I would rather pay to watch Michael Jordan play. Okay? LeBron's game is not that pretty to watch. However, if I was starting a team tomorrow from scratch and I could take Jordan or LeBron, I would take LeBron. From the simple standpoint, he can do more things on the court. I have less to build the rest of my team. Okay? Not that Jordan's not great. People get mad at that. Oh my God, you think Jordan sucks? No, I don't think he sucks. I just like LeBron. He can play every position. He can bring it up. He can post up. He can rebound. He can distribute. He can score. Okay? And so people get offended by that. Like, oh, how dare you even think about that? They get so sensitive. So it's been fun watching that and the debates back and forth. But it's a great documentary, but Jordan does have control. I want to see one in about 15 years on Tiger Woods. But one that Tiger's involved in, but is completely transparent. Like his whole story about getting a 5-iron to the face from his wife. I want to hear about that. And about how the fact that you didn't see him for a long time. And my dad, can I tell you a story real quick? Okay, Tiger Woods story real quick. That was you don't know. Tiger Woods cheated on his wife. His wife went through his cell phone one night on Thanksgiving night, I think it was, and saw that he was talking to some Perkins waitress, and she took a 7-iron, allegedly, and struck him in the mouth with the 7-iron. Tiger Woods got into his car. He was kind of on drugs, like not drugs like the painkillers, a lot of stuff, which he admitted to, by the way, later on. And he crashed his car like at 10 miles per hour into a tree in a rich neighborhood, okay? And he didn't see Tiger Woods from a long story. And so, a long time. My dad lives in Arizona. My dad plays golf with the husband of a nurse in a plastic surgeon unit. According to my dad, Papa Comrade, okay, Tiger Woods flew on a private jet the day after to go to this surgeon office to get plastic surgery or to get dental work done, to fix his teeth and his mouth, because the 7-iron apparently did a little damage. That's why I didn't see Tiger Woods for a while. You notice that. Go back. You don't see Tiger Woods' face for about 3 months after that happened.
Yeah.
So just little things like that. So I would love to have the Tiger Woods story, okay, transparent, like 20 years from now, and talk about kind of what he did to his body, the stupid shit he did to his body, Navy SEAL training for the hell of it, which is why his back's all messed up and his knees are messed up. Just kind of, he's a weird dude too. But so that'd be my next documentary. I'd like to see a 10-part thing on Tiger.
Well, Tiger Woods' golf game went to shit when he got off the pussy buffet.
Well, I think he lost his
You know
confidence
that I'm
too.
right. When he's out banging every broad that he could possibly bang, he's out there beating guys by 12 shots at the fucking Masters. He comes off the pussy buffet and he starts to suck.
I think it's more of the fact that he was exposed. His private life was exposed. I think that took a toll on his.
Why can't you ever just agree with me on something? It's not going. It's not going to like. He got off the pussy buffet. If I were his swing coach, I'd tell him,
he got off it.
We need some. Start hitting the Perkins waitresses, and then hit Denny's on the way home too, and then have sex in the bathroom stall with some of them like he did, and I bet you he'll come back to normal. He's
getting old now. He's starting to get, but he still can win, but he's not quite what he was. So we'll see.
Rob, did you happen to catch the Owen Hart thing on Vice last night?
It is actually queued up. I'm not joking. On my TV, I'm going to watch it when we're done here. I'm really excited about that, but I hear it's really good. So lots of LeBron. Go ahead. Did you like it, Cale?
Really, to be honest with you, they really don't go into anything that I really know about already. I really thought that they'd come up with uncover some earth-shattering shit or whatever, but it's really stuff that I've seen before. So, but it's still a good story. Fucking sad too.
Very sad
and ridiculous. Jim Cornette's in it. He actually cries.
Jim Cornette cries. I don't know if I want to watch that.
Yeah, he cried and teared up about talking about that blue blazer gimmick they had him doing and how fucking unnecessary and ridiculous and just stupid the whole thing was. That never even needed to happen.
Yeah.
And JR kind of teared up a little bit too.
Pussies. So. They're ruining kayfabe.
That's gone. That shit's gone.
That's gone.
As soon as the fucking internet got legs and got running back in the early 2000s, that shit was destroyed.
Final thing before we get out of here, we got to respond to some of these. Comrade pissed a lot of guys off over here. It looks like.
They're sensitive.
I have a hard time believing that.
Jordan fans are sensitive. See, I'm going to break this down real quick now. The ones who are saying LeBron tried to change teams. Okay, let's kind of review real quick about the documentary. Why did Michael Jordan retire the second time? I ain't playing unless Phil Jackson, my coach. I ain't going to rebuild. That's a really strong dude right there. I ain't going to play without Phil Jackson. Well, but man, if LeBron did that, can you imagine if LeBron retired and said, I'm not playing unless this guy's my coach? You don't go to pussy. Are you mentally weak? God, Jordan wouldn't have done. Oh, wait, he did do that. Why did he retire the first time? Burned out, man. Burned out.
Do you think that it adds anything to the argument for LeBron that he's done this? He's made 4 different teams now. Great. The first time around with Cleveland, Miami, second time around with Cavs, and then this short stint with the Lakers. Jordan basically did it all with one team. Yeah, I know that he went to Washington there at the end,
and Jordan didn't leave the Bulls. Want to know why? He had a great GM who found him Scottie Pippen late in the draft, who brought in Tony Kukoc from Europe, who was really good, and Dennis Rodman. Okay, but Jordan didn't have to leave. Okay, you were chopping around there. If Jordan went in those Cleveland Cavalier teams, he would have left too. And Jordan was on those kind of teams too early in his career. When he got swept out of the playoffs in the first round of the year, before Pippen got there. Gene Banks on a team and Dave Corzine. Those are the teams that LeBron had that he took to the finals. So once again, I'm not saying that Jordan's not great. And if you think Jordan's the greatest, that's fine. My problem is if you bring up LeBron, you get these comments. You're pussy, man. You're so damn weak. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to address the one thing, and I'm going to go and put it out there. I'm a Jordan guy. I don't like LeBron for a couple of different reasons, but I can respect his game, which a lot of people have a problem with. First of all, comparing him to Michael Jordan is tough for me because, as the comrade said, they play two different positions. I think he is more of a Magic Johnson type player that is jacked on steroids. Not saying that he's on steroids, but he looks like a mountain of muscle that can do what Magic Johnson did. So comparing him to Jordan is kind of tough for me. But here is the thing that when people talk about, oh, well, LeBron James took a team full of bums to the finals. Brother, the entire Eastern Conference was a fucking shit show. There were no good teams there. LeBron James could have took you, and Kale and made the fucking finals. It was just garbage. The best teams were in the West. Every team in the East that year would have finished at 6th or worst as far as record goes in the West.
And when
So,
Jordan played, when he went 6-0 in the finals, the Western teams blew dick. Will you agree with that?
That's completely not true.
That's not true?
That's completely not true. The Phoenix Suns were good. Portland was good. Portland was a good team. The Sean Kemp and the Seattle Sonics were really good. They won damn 60 games, Mike.
That's completely not true. And the West was weak back then. The West was weak for a long, long time.
I disagree with you, sir.
You know, the whole idea of the final stuff that LeBron's won the 9 finals, and he has not been mentally exhausted yet. Social media, he gets criticized. He hasn't needed a break yet. Hasn't needed to get away. Hasn't been burnt out. He hasn't demanded that I need a coach or I'm retiring. That's what your boy does.
That's one of my sports memories was seeing Michael Jordan play ball. And it wasn't in person talking about, and it wasn't seeing him play ball in the traditional sense you'd think it was. I seen him play ball back in the summer of '94, playing baseball for the Birmingham Barons when they came to Greenville twice that year. And I went to one of those games when Jordan played, and this was in maybe I'd say probably mid-July. And we probably by that point in the season won 15 games and we won goddamn 5. Two terrible teams, and he actually got hit in that game. I think the capacity on that stadium was like 7,500 people, and the attendance was over 9,000 people on like a fucking Tuesday night. Just come out there to see Michael Jordan play baseball with the Barons. But yeah, that was some good stuff. Only year he ever played too.
Yeah, I get frustrated with people that talk about LeBron took that team to the finals and blah blah blah, but then they forget to show where he just completely quit on his fucking team with Boston. People just oh well, that doesn't matter. No, fuck off with all that. They just kind of blow that out the way. Look, you can respect LeBron's game, but let's be honest. I don't think he's as driven as Jordan is. Really don't. I think he's nearly as driven at all. So as far as being as an intense player, I don't think he's as intense as Jordan is. So it's funny to me that when
I guess that's why Jordan got burnt out so quick. Maybe that's why he got burnt out so quick.
Maybe Jordan had gambling debts. That's one of the things that was out there too. Maybe that happened. Oh, you don't want to talk about that, right?
I know you don't. Gambling debts.
Too.
I know.
So
once again, I love Jordan, and I have no problem with him if you want to think he's the greatest player of all time. It's the idea that people think LeBron just sucks and oh my god, he just can't. He's mentally. I mean, Jordan has his little issues too. And if you watch the whole thing, the fact that he basically retired from the game the second time because his coach was leaving. You wouldn't leave my coach. Well, man, I'm just saying.
Wait a goddamn minute here.
Yeah.
LeBron James has officially gotten a bunch of coaches fired. So you really need to calm your ass down with all that.
Okay.
Yes, he has.
Jordan retired because his coach was going, and he won't go play with his coach.
Well, he's had play with.
And I'm not going to rebuild. I'm not going to rebuild. I need lots of help.
With that. Why would you not want to play?
I'm just saying though, because LeBron gets killed for he's joining super teams. He's weak. He's soft. Okay, but Jordan Didn't want to play anymore unless he had his coach and his boys with him. He wasn't rebuilding.
I
don't want to rebuild.
I think Dean's nose was 10 times the coach that Phil Jackson was.
Dean's.
Well.
So was Bill Guthridge.
Billy Guthridge. Yeah, that's funny. Well, we could sit here and argue about LeBron James and Michael Jordan all night. Even if you tell the comrade, look, I respect LeBron James's game, but, he's got a lot of holes and some shit like that. Played with what? 3 Hall of Famers in Miami and lost to a Dirk Nowitzki team where Nowitzki basically had the flu. I mean,
we played with 3 Hall of Famers in Miami. What 3 Hall of Famers played in Miami?
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen's a Hall of Famer.
Ray Allen. He's the all-time leading three-point shooter in history.
Ray Allen was kind of old, though. That's an
Ray
old
Allen will be a Hall of Famer.
That's an old Ray Allen, though. That's not a prime Ray Allen.
Okay. You know what?
Let me ask
you something. Do you change your knee pads when you go from Will Muschamp to LeBron?
Are you going to say next that LeBron played with Shaq and could have get it done? He played with old fat Shaq. I mean, come on.
No.
The bottom line is,
Ray Allen was a hell of a player, Mike.
But he was old, though. At that point, he was old. He's not the same player he was. He was a role player at that point.
On that team.
He was a role player at that point.
My point is, three-point shooting threat.
My point is, when Jordan went to play baseball, the Bulls, without Jordan in that tough East, won 55 games. When LeBron leaves Cleveland, they're a lottery team. In the lousy East, when LeBron leaves Cleveland, they're a lottery team. When Jordan leaves the Bulls, they're a playoff team. They actually got screwed by my Knicks. The Knicks got a little payback on the Hubert Davis foul. The Bulls almost beat the Knicks in the playoffs without Jordan. Okay, just a little something. So am I saying anything that's not factual? When LeBron leaves Cleveland, they're a lottery team.
Mike, the fucking East sucked.
If they suck though, but they're still a lottery. I mean, shouldn't Cleveland be okay without LeBron if he sucks?
I'm saying that one player can take your team to the finals in the East, Mike.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, apparently, without that one player, they're a lottery team in the lousy East. In the tough East, in the Jordan days, in the tough East, without him, 55 games without him. Won a playoff series without him.
If that's the guy that you're going to go with.
When's the last time the Cavaliers won a playoff series without LeBron? Look that up.
Man, they're a franchise that sucks a horse dick, Mike. What do you want from me?
What's that?
Their owner sucks. Their owner's garbage.
Oh, okay. So owner's important.
They don't care. Oh. They don't have anybody there that's worth a shit. Come on, man.
Okay, yeah. So I guess, but LeBron's 3-6 in the finals. And they tell me his owner.
I never said that. All I'm saying is that when you try to compare the two and the careers that they've had,
people compare the finals. So it's weird.
LeBron's played in a league that it's not as tough as it was back then. Charles Oakley would rape LeBron James at midcourt.
No, he wouldn't.
If he
here's good. This is my second misconception. So the second misconception is nowadays the game is less physical. Okay, and LeBron flops a lot. Okay, he flops because he's trying to get calls. That's what you do. In the 80s, you got advantages by being physical, right? I'm pretty sure if LeBron went back to the 80s and he knew that you don't flop anymore to get calls, you just be physical now, I think he does okay. The fact that LeBron plays in this era actually hurts him because he can't use his physical dominance as much as he would be able to in the 80s. He's built like Karl Malone, only he can dribble, he's faster, can jump higher, and can shoot from the outside. Okay? Bill Laimbeer is not stopping him. Charles Oakley is not stopping him. Okay? He would be more dominant in the 80s. In the 80s and 90s, LeBron would be more dominant because now he could be a bully. He can't be a bully now. And so he does the flop thing because he's so big he tries to get calls. He could be a bully in the 90s with skill. He would dominate the 90s more than he did now. He actually
if you're comparing him to Karl Malone, are you saying he could tag team up with DDP and take on Hulk
I think
Hogan
so.
and Dennis Rodman?
That's so. That's so. Okay,
Right,
so the whole idea of LeBron is LeBron's built like a freaking linebacker who can run.
Built like a bitch.
Okay, he would.
He's
if people go,
bitch.
that's one thing the other day. Bill Lambier would just took it. Lambier was.
I never said Lambier.
No, I thought people online. Lambier went 0-48 in fights. Every time he got in the fight, he started it and got his ass kicked. He always had a black eye. There's no been on the thing. He always had a mask on and goggles on. He got killed. Charles Barkley did that. Larry Bird beat him up. Larry Bird beat up Bill Lambier. Okay?
Larry Bird was a very tough son of a bitch.
I know.
I will not sit here and let you bash Larry Bird, sir.
I'm pretty sure
Larry Bird was a fucking sycamore.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if Lambier took a cheap shot at LeBron and he wanted to fight, I'm pretty sure LeBron can handle himself against Bill Lambier. So the whole thing is not tough enough. I'm
not saying that Michael Jordan or that he wouldn't be able to play a past those guys. I'm just saying that guys would headhunt him back then.
That's fine, and he would headhunt them back.
His neck.
He would
get his damn neck broke.
No,
they would intentionally.
Did Jordan get his neck broke? Did Jordan get his neck broke? Jordan was smaller. Did Jordan get his neck broke?
Oh God!
Now, conversely, I think Jordan would be more dominant in this era because you can't hand check. I think they're actually and they both were dominant both eras. Okay, but I think Jordan would be better in this era because you couldn't hand check him. He put up on real numbers. Okay, he can't shoot a 3-pointer though. Okay, and LeBron would dominate more in the 80s and 90s because he could use his physical skills more. He could actually push people, and he would be a bully. So, So I think they both are kind of mismatched in the eras they play in. I think they actually. I think Jordan's game. I think he was hurt by the era he played a little bit, and I think LeBron's hurt by the era he plays in a little bit. So they're both great. Jordan, I have no problem being the GOAT. I'm just saying when people bring up LeBron, they're saying, "Just want to sit here. Oh, I'm not even talking LeBron. I think Kobe's better. Give me a fucking break. Don't even put Kobe and LeBron.
What? Are you really fucking serious right now?
Kobe's not better than LeBron.
We're boring the shit out of
Kobe's
Jack
not better than LeBron.
Oh God damn. Well, I tell you what, I don't really give a shit whether you like it or not. I'm not taking LeBron with my top two. I'll go Jordan, Bryant, and then LeBron can carry their fucking bags.
People don't like LeBron because LeBron speaks out on issues. And George,
hold on. Are you implying that that's why I don't like LeBron?
I'm saying people, not you.
Okay,
but
let's make sure.
There's already a comment here about that. So when I brought LeBron, you told me. So that's why number one, he's not liked. Okay.
Yeah.
Number two.
Why don't you?
All right. Jordan used to be behind the scenes. Okay. So it's the whole.
Why don't you answer our favorite Chia Pets question here?
What's that?
Why don't you answer our favorite Chia Pets question here?
Barkley could take the Cavs to the finals.
Who's the best center LeBron James has played against?
The best center?
The best center. You can't really name one, can you?
I mean, LeBron's not really a center. I mean, well, I don't know what that means.
Who did he
play? The game doesn't have centers now.
No, I'm talking about a center. Do I have to break it down for you?
There are no great.
That can defend the basket.
I mean, Tim Duncan
the guy
was
that's
a power
in the middle
forward.
There, 5 position.
Tim Duncan.
Shit about basketball.
Okay, it was a power forward. They're not really centers. They don't. It's a different style now. There's not really centers nowadays.
Jesus
fucking. I mean, they all play face to the basket. There's no back down.
When we come back,
80s, 90s.
Shut up. When we come back, we will talk more football on Sunday because the comrade has shown that he knows absolutely nothing about
Clemson alum 98. Go tweet with LeBron, please stop talking sports. So Clemson alum is weird. A Clemson alum snowflake boy. I'm guessing. I'm going to picture Clemson alum's room right now. If you walk in, I bet he's got Confederate flags in his room. Am I right?
Really?
Confederate flag, a MAGA poster, okay? Don't tread on me, okay? And probably signs that says Obama's a Muslim. Am I right?
Can we end the show before we piss everybody off?
That's my prediction. I bet I nailed. I bet I got 80% of that. I guarantee I got 80% of that correct. I'm gonna go check out his Facebook profile. I'll bet you 80%. Okay.
Kale, tell us to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
And that's a wrap.
Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Thank
Bye.
you, fuck you, bye. All right. Good show, gentlemen. We'll talk to you guys later on.
Bye, guys.